searched and I found nobody like Jesus. I 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 searched and I found nobody like Jesus. Yes, I've looked and I found nobody like Jesus. Who can heal me like Jesus? Nobody like Jesus. Who can hold me like Jesus? Nobody like Jesus. Who can keep me like Jesus? Nobody like Jesus. Who can love me like Jesus? Nobody like Jesus. Who can provide for me like Jesus? Nobody like Jesus. There's nobody like Jesus. Nobody like Jesus. There's nobody like Jesus. Nobody like Jesus. If I was in a Baptist church, I would sing this. Can nobody do me like Jesus? 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 Say nobody, 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 nobody. There will be no other God before you. Can we sing that, church? Let's say, there will be no other God before you. There is no one above you. There is no one above you, no one beside you, nobody. Say that again. There is no one above you, no one beside you, nobody like. There is no one above you, no one beside, nobody like. There will be no other God before you. There's no one, no one, no one. There's nobody like Jesus. I've tasted and I've seen nobody like Jesus. I've tried them for myself. There's nobody like Jesus. He's kept my mind all of my life. There's nobody like Jesus. He who keeps me in perfect peace. There's nobody, nobody, nobody like Jesus. You're the one true and living God. No. You're everything I need you to be. You're more than enough for me. You're everything I need you to be. You're more than enough for me. You are, you are. You are, you are. You are, you are. You're everything to me, Lord. You're everything to me, Lord. Yeah.
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand, when everything around me is shaking. I'm
Seems like yesterday we were cutting up in class. No worries in the world except chasing girls and burning gas. Then one day you wake up, you're tossing up them caps. Don't it seem like the good times go by too fast? Yeah, I wish time would tick a little slower. Sometimes it feels like a blink and then it's over. Better soak it in, better make it last. Live it up while we can, cause the good times go by too fast. It feels like yesterday I walked in that bar. Wasn't looking for nothing, now look where we are. We're watching our...
Welcome here, everybody. It's so special to have all of us here together to celebrate these 14 young adults. It's a great privilege and honor to be able to spend this hour with you like this. Let's bow to pray. Father God, we thank you for everything that is right and good and wholesome and happy. Today we thank you for these 14 young adults and their families and all that this represents, all the effort and all the work and all the victories. And we pray that you would bless this hour so that we could celebrate in a way that brings honor to you. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. All right, Ashley and her friends will come forward and we were going to sing a few songs. Come on up. Have the sound back on here, and once they've sung their songs, then two young men will come forward and they will have a conversation with us. It'll be called The Gift.
Yeah, you guys can feel free to stand up and join us for worship.
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaken. just like you. I wanna talk just like you. Lord, keep my eyes on you. Take up my cross just like you. Lay down my life just like you. Lord, keep my eyes on you. No turning back, no turning back, no turning back, no turning back. And I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow him. The cross before me, the world behind me, no turning back. And I wanna walk just like you. I wanna talk just like you. Lord, keep my eyes on you. Lay down my life just like you. Take up my cross just like you. Lord, keep my eyes on you. No turning back, no turning back, no turning back, no turning back. And I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow him. The cross before me, the world behind me, no turning back. And if I live, I'm living for you. And if I die, I'm dying for you. Whatever it comes, Lord, let it be true. I'm following you, I'm following you. And if I live, I'm living for you. If I die, I'm dying for you. Whatever comes, Lord, let it be true. I'm following you, I'm following you. And if I live, I'm living for you. And if I die, I'm dying for you. Whatever it comes, Lord, let it be true. I'm following, and I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow him. The cross before me, the world behind me, no turning back.
You may all be seated. Thank you.
By too fast. Yeah, I wish time would tick a little slower. Sometimes it feels like a blink and then it's over. Better soak it in. Better make it last. Live it up while we can, 'cause the good times go by too fast. Before you know it, your baby's having babies. You're 21, close your eyes, then you're 80. So laugh every laugh like it's your last, 'cause you can't get them back. The good times go by too fast. Yeah, I wish time would tick a little slower. Sometimes it feels like a blink and then it's over. Better soak it in, better make it last. Live it up while we can, 'cause the good times go by too fast. Ooh, the good times go by too fast.
shine. In your love I come alive now and forever. Close to you, God, to your heart. I wanna stay here forever.
Tasting 1, 2, 3.
Check, check, check.
Where should we start from? Once upon a time, I got asked to do this grad speech again this year.
As one would expect.
It's kind of fun, even when you do it twice. I enjoy doing it with you.
Yes, and I'm glad I don't have to write it, and I'm fine to read your stuff and sound smart once a year.
That still sounds mean. Did you write it or did I?
I think the audience will figure it out.
Should we give them another chance? Whatever. I'll write the speech again, don't worry.
So you have any good gift ideas? What are we giving them this year?
You beat me to it. I was going to ask you.
I asked you first.
I don't have any inspiration. I've run out, and you're the homeroom teacher.
Yes, but you are their ELA teacher.
Well, it's obvious you haven't got any ideas.
And you've just confessed that you don't either.
Touché.
Stumped?
Yep, stumped.
Well, normally it is symbolic,
And somewhat meaningful.
but even young people don't need just more stuff.
So it would be good if it was functional, useful.
So what kind of functional, useful, meaningful, symbolic stuff have you been using lately?
Using. That's an interesting word. Using tools. Now that it's nicer outside, I'm getting a chance to be using tools again.
Well, tools can be symbolic. What tool represents an MCS grad? What are they? What tools should they be?
Any grad in particular?
No, just the grads in general. We don't want to get into any trouble.
As their ELA teacher, I could think of a few that have been like shovels.
We probably shouldn't go there.
Ah, come on. It's not like you can't make some connections.
Well, there are times when they can be like calculators without batteries.
Like every Monday morning and every day after lunch, if I hear correctly.
I don't know who would say something like that.
How about a screwdriver,
Different types, different sizes,
which express different giftings?
and they can be very unique.
And if they're the wrong one, they just don't get used at all. Feels too specific.
Hammer?
To a hammer, everything is a nail.
Yeah, it's too forceful, no subtlety, always hitting stuff.
Tape measure.
Measuring up, evaluation, accuracy, detail.
Yeah, but a little too judgmental.
You mentioned a fancy titanium cat's paw the other day.
A neat tool, mine's only steel, but very niche and generally only pulled out to fix mistakes, and they're pretty destructive and they leave a real mess when they're done.
Well, what else is there?
The cat's paw made me think of what I've referred to as my smashing chisel that I carry on my tool belt. But it's too destructive and like the cat's paw, and it's too forceful like the hammer.
What about wrenches? Each one's different, but they're all built on the same pattern.
It's a nice start, but some get left behind, just like the wrong screwdriver.
How about a crescent wrench? All the wrenches in one.
Nah, too boring. Wait, I think you're onto something. A crescent wrench. A wrench with grace.
Everybody needs to have one of those.
And there are times when a crescent is the only answer.
It is such an elegantly simple and timeless design.
This crescent is a piece of nostalgia. It's a favorite of mine. This was the nice one in Dad's toolbox. It may have been one of the tools that started the father-son game of, if it's in my garage long enough, it's mine. And I may have started playing before he did. In my youth, my dad was a tool salesman, driving a van from dealership to garage to body shop in southwestern Manitoba. Over the summer holidays, my brother and I would take turns riding along, so I was exposed to nice tools long before I ever wanted or needed to use them. This crescent wrench was one of the earliest tools I remember having a preference for. It was special because this one, unlike the larger silver one in his box, actually had crescent on it. It's kind of like having Kleenex brand, Kleenex.
The basic principle of adjustable wrenches dates back to the early 1800s. The design as we have it here is from just before the 1900s. 4 parts: the handle, the jaw with its serrated teeth, the worm gear, and a pin to keep the worm gear in place. It took a while to get to the current design, angling the head, tapering the width of the jaw, and tempering the specific alloy. If it isn't abused, it should last as long as you're alive.
We're really waxing romantic about a crescent wrench, and this is grad.
Right. So where do you plan to head with the MCS grads are like a crescent wrench?
Well, they're adjustable. The wrench adapts. If you don't know the size of the nut or the bolt you have to deal with, grabbing a crescent means you're able to do the job.
So our grads should be able to adapt, adjust to fit the situation.
And not only that, I remember in my youth, the metric system was being adopted, so it was really hard to know if the thing you were fixing was going to be metric or standard. So you had to bring a handful of wrenches on both flavors just to have the right size tool.
Or one crescent.
Exactly.
So our grads should not only be adaptable, but also be able to translate between different kinds of situations. I remember working for my uncles, moving houses after graduating high school, and I didn't really know what my part of the job was supposed to be all the time. I felt ill-suited to the job for a while, the wrong size of wrench, if you will. I remember my dad saying, just be around and available so that if someone needs a block, you're there. So if you're not sure what to do, just find something that may be useful. Eventually, I felt like the right tool.
A crescent wrench coming of age story. We should include that.
Thanks.
There's another thing about crescents you wouldn't think, but they're a tool you actually have to use carefully. You have to pay attention. You can't just get the jaw close to the right size and start reefing on it. Every time you reset the crescent on the nut or bolt, you have to make sure the jaw is snugged so that all the play is taken up.
Because if you don't, you end up with a wrench that is a touch too big and it slips.
And it rounds the nut, and then you're hooped.
You have to be careful with it. You have to care when you use it. Take up the slack in the jaw, or you could be making the problem worse. It requires attention. Requires tiny adjustments every time you apply the wrench to the nut. It isn't a tool for someone who doesn't care. So you're saying that our grads need to be sensitive and careful in how they apply themselves.
It is the idea that they need to continuously be sensitive and careful. It isn't enough to just be careful at the start of something, but at each step along the way, even if the step they're about to take looks just like the last step they took.
This being careful and sensitive in how you apply yourself is part of the reason we like to send the grads to another country, another culture in their grade 12 year. The change in what's normal forces that attention, that motivation to be adaptable. You and I were not on the Jamaica trip, but what we heard was that the contributions the grads made were pleasant adaptations to their normal. What other aspects relate to our grads?
It can be a bit of a rookie's tool. I remember using it a lot when I was younger, like helping my sister tighten up her training wheels on her bike. But later on, once I knew better, I would start to grab the correct wrench.
So it was a tool that helped you get started learning how to be handy.
Exactly. It kind of forgave my lack of knowledge at the start.
And you don't use it as much anymore?
Not as much. Now it serves a different role. It's more of a rescue tool.
How so?
Earlier, it was a tool I would grab if I didn't know the size of the nut. Now, I know better and often grab the right wrench if I'm lucky. But there are times when the nut is damaged or I've wrecked the nut and a normal wrench doesn't fit anymore. So, to get a wrench on it again, I regrind flats on the nut. But now, the nut isn't the standard size. And this is where the beauty of the Crescent comes in. It doesn't care what size the nut is. All it cares is the two sides are parallel. It saves the day when no other wrench in the toolbox can even fit.
So a tool that in the beginning helped to introduce you into repairing stuff slowly gets neglected and then later turns into a tool that rescues you when the regular tools literally can't anymore. You're saying for you now, a Crescent isn't a go-to tool, it is a last resort / rescue kind of tool.
I hadn't quite thought of it that way before. I guess that kind of explains my affection for it.
So how do we sum this up?
Well, what are our hopes for the grads?
That you are trustworthy when called upon, that you're capable and adaptable to the situation.
That you're reliably there for family, for friends, for those that you see and freely choose to call your neighbor.
That you can be called on when others can't fit, can't help, or aren't there to answer.
That you gain a patina, all those little dings and dents that show you've been around, had experiences, and been useful.
That you've been loved, that you're someone remembered by others fondly, that you've got the reputation for being around for others in the long game. So, you're really going to give the grads a Crescent wrench as a graduation gift?
Yep. Be a Crescent wrench. A grace-filled wrench to deal with the random-sized nuts in your life.
As always, well done. Thank you very much. Yeah. In our school, as in every other school in the world, we pick students to be the spokespersons for the grade. And so our students got a chance to kind of select and nominate 3 people who they thought would be great spokespersons for the class. And so come on forward.
Just gonna test if this mic works. Thumbs up, someone. There we go, thanks.
All right, this is our class.
The 2025 MCS grads.
As some of you know, we are a strange bunch. In the past years, we could have been described as a real Mennonite family.
We all love each other very much, and we all love to fight.
We just never know which we love more.
Some of us love intellectual things that really play with our minds, while the rest of us like to scroll in Kijiji looking at cars and trucks to buy.
You can probably guess how our class is split in that aspect.
When it came to Mr. Ham's class, some of us just about aced it.
While others had an hour-long lecture about needing to get work done because they were failing.
Okay, there's no need to name names.
Some of us are readers, getting over 700% in our ELA reader's log, and others are not, getting less than 10%.
When it comes to making decisions, we are either very on the same page or argue about the little things.
There's nothing in between.
For example, when deciding on our grad hoodie design, we had one meeting, and most of that was spent deciding on the font.
The color took us less than 5 minutes to agree on.
Walk in and walk out songs for grad, though, took a little bit more time with some disagreements.
Yeah. Everyone in our class is unique, and we want to take some time to appreciate that. Starting with one of our favorites.
Ashton.
That's right.
Ashton has been here since kindergarten, so it only makes sense that like a figurehead on a ship, he's the face of our class.
With those luscious locks and the fearless attitude, he's the first to get things done.
That is outside of class time.
When it comes to fishing, fixing, talking about, or driving trucks and cars, he's the one to go to.
And ever since kindergarten, he's been a real beaver. Whether it's paper or pencils, he'll eat it all.
He knows the randomest facts, and he's described himself as a piece of duct tape.
What that means, though, we might never know. He might not have all the right answers.
But he sure has the funnest answers.
As he once said, "I'm dumb, but I like to be smart when I'm dumb."
He's very loyal to his friends, no matter the situation. We remember one time in kindergarten when the only other guy in our class got in trouble. Rather than sit by himself with all the girls, he went into timeout too, to be loyal with his friend.
He's always willing to help others.
Especially if that means getting out of class.
But all in all, he is someone that everyone loves and admires.
And the Marmee Award of the Year goes to...
Kylie Janaeans.
Now, we all know that person who sneaks you Advil, Tylenol, whenever there might be a hair on your body that hurts, or lectures you on the topic of eating and drinking enough, or getting enough sleep.
Well, imagine that person.
On steroids.
Now, Kylie is one of the OGs. She's been here since the very beginning of time itself. Her wisdom in relationships.
And her skill in turning every male face in the room red by talking about periods is impeccable.
And she also took a course in psychology. So now, whenever someone is sad or mad, she is quick to diagnose. In a half serious, half laughing voice, she asks,
"How are you?"
Or, "Let's talk about your feelings," followed by a quick,
"This is a safe place."
Then, we all end up with the same diagnosis.
"I think you're depressed."
Or "I think you are a psychopath."
All in all,
negative things aside,
Kylie is a really sweet young woman.
She cares a lot about people around her and makes a lot of sacrifices for the better of them.
Now, Ashley might not believe that Helen Keller existed.
But she sure can bake good cupcakes.
She always has a comeback for anything you might say. She's pretty snarky.
But she's a real sweetheart deep down.
She's famous for threatening to commit tax fraud whenever something slightly inconveniences her.
She's also a good leader. And in Jamaica, she fearlessly led us through games with multitudes of children.
Her devotion to the sports committee all throughout high school is also something worth noting.
Now, we need to take time in a moment to address the awkward moment every morning.
When Kylie gave Ashley a peck on the cheek.
I'm gonna miss that.
Oh.
Ashley and I have known each other for a long time.
Maybe too long.
We've been cousins ever since she was born a month after me, and we've been in school together since the beginning in kindergarten.
You could say she's the popular girl of our class, as she's always in the midst of a circle of people laughing.
She's the life of the party and can name just about any country song.
Just play a couple of seconds of one, and I bet you she can name it.
Some of my favorite memories with her are planning out games to play on the play structure at recess. We had folders full of notes and everything. She has a creative imagination and a bubbly personality that we will all miss being with every day.
Alita, Alita is the class tutor, nerd, and youngest child all in one.
You could ask her for help in almost any subject, and she would probably have the answers for you.
Almost all of us have relied on her for answers at some point.
Ever since kindergarten, her favorite subject has been math.
An example of this was in grade 5, when she taped together several pieces of paper and did a massive long division problem.
She then taped it to the whiteboard to flaunt it in front of the rest of us.
Her other hobbies include dominating us at times tables competitions and doing grade 12 IXLs in elementary.
We were all in awe of her in those moments.
Alita is intentional in what she does, and she never goes halfway in anything.
One of her many admirable traits is how she forces herself out of her comfort zone to become a better person.
She has been on the worship team all throughout high school, and we admire her dedication to music and schoolwork.
Despite all this, she still has time to have fun. In grade 9, she even dyed her hair.
First it was pink.
And then it was blue.
You never really know what you're getting with Alita, but it's always sure to be a good surprise. Now, Miranda, she's a selfless girl.
She's always sharing her food or something with anyone who asks.
She checks up on the people she knows are hurting and is willing to go the extra mile to help them. She loves her animals, and I remember going to her house in elementary and getting a tour of like 30 cats.
She loves animals and people, no matter who they are and despite the flaws.
She is a lover of beauty, and you can always find her doodling or photographing nature.
She's a loyal friend and sister, and if you are one of the people she is loyal to, she will go the extra step to love on you.
Our Jamaica trip, she really connected with and loved all the kids we met.
She was constantly making them giggle or finding new ways to entertain them.
She also made sure to get the kids water when she thought they needed it.
She's a deeply loving person who has a deep and sensitive heart, and after we graduate, I know we will all miss her reminders to take care of ourselves.
Now Tobias. He's the kind of guy who could yap for hours without taking a breath.
It's true. In grade 5, for example, he specifically asked our teacher if he could lead chapels just to preach at us for 30 minutes. He joined us in grade 1, and we've never had a simple moment since.
If you ever need to know something about yourself, just ask him. He probably knows you better than you know yourself. Tobias is that weird uncle at your extended family gatherings.
He knows all the drama and chooses to reveal things at their proper times.
His wisdom goes beyond what we may understand, but he is careful to only reveal tidbits at a time to not overwhelm us.
He also enjoys playing with people's emotions.
In a lighthearted way, as he once said.
It's nothing personal, it's just an experiment.
All this said, he is a kind-hearted person who will do his best to help you out.
He loves everyone.
Whether or not they appreciate him.
And this trait is something that will get him far in his life and his faith.
Leandro. Leandro joined us in grade 2. He was the quiet, artistic type that didn't say much.
Over the years, he transformed into the class clown.
Our teacher in grade 4, Miss Moran, had a little scooter she drove around during breaks.
One of Leandro's favorite activities was to hang on the back of it and act like an old man.
He even had a nickname for his character, Old Man Jenkins.
And the scooter became affectionately known as the Lamborghini.
He continued to make us laugh until he left us in grade 6.
That is where this story ends.
For now. Now, some of us would describe Jacob as the friendly giant.
Others would not.
Jacob is a passionate man, but can hide it really well.
It often seems as if he just doesn't care or doesn't know what's going on.
But he notices things that many of us miss.
An example of this fiery passion and how he doesn't miss a thing
is when we were told to paint the tractor.
He didn't miss a single part.
Not even the alternator. To this day, we insist it was him. And every time we do, he gets fired up and argues vigorously that it was not him.
We are not yet convinced of that.
Just to show how he really pays attention to what he's doing, he knows some things that even Tobias doesn't.
He's Ashton's favorite fishing and bench buddy.
We all admire the relationship the two have. Not many friendships can compete with a bond forged by being benched.
He brings the Pepsi,
but he forgets the fishing shack.
His competitiveness,
soft sets,
and incredible skill at stuffing Kylie
Makes him a force to be reckoned with on the volleyball court.
That is, if you have Kylie on your team and he's on the other team.
Although he's quiet in class.
When it's just the boys, he has lots to say.
Especially about the girls in the class.
Don't get us wrong.
He does not like them.
It's quite the opposite.
He doesn't like them.
All in all,
he's a great friend to those he cares about.
And if you ever want to talk to him, be sure to ask him about being an uncle, because he really is a pretty great one.
So, Alethea.
Just wait.
Happy 3.5-year anniversary.
For some context,
Toby and Alethea have had some history.
they haven't always been friends.
In fact, they pretty much hated each other.
To give even more context, this anniversary we're referencing was in grade 9 when they were assigned together in a group project.
They fought almost the entire time.
Thankfully, we've moved past this.
Mostly.
Alethea has a big personality, one that is sometimes hard to keep up with. From elaborate hate letters in church mailboxes to her best friend when she was younger.
Don't worry, they love each other now.
To being the perfect fit for the White Witch in the spring concert.
Alethea cares deeply about many things.
And she's passionate about those things.
And we love her for that.
When she joined in grade 8, we didn't know what we were in for.
When we found out she had read the whole dictionary for fun,
Several times,
we came to the conclusion,
she was quite a nerd.
but the best kind of nerd.
She dreams very big.
And goes all in no matter what she does.
Her passion in music and leading chapels is something that we all admire.
She lives for Jesus.
And it is evident. Her passionate attitude is something we've come to appreciate.
And we all know who to go to if we want to get things done.
Nora.
She may be short, but she makes up for that lack of height in her beautiful personality. She walks through the halls like she's on a mission and no one would be able to stop her.
She has a fiery passion for injustice.
And it comes out in class when we're reviewing history or talking about world issues.
She loves standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves who can't stand up for themselves.
She is a proud Mennonite.
While also giving credit to her British heritage.
Due to those British roots, she has a strong love for authentic teas and coffee.
We can always count on Nora to give us the history and world news facts.
She always knows the latest known discovery.
And could probably recite the Magna Carta.
Although she wasn't actually in the library committee this year.
We still all went to her for book recommendations and everything library related.
She only joined us in grade 9.
But it feels like she's been a part of our class for forever.
Nora is a loyal friend, and you can count on her to go all in on whatever project or research she is doing. Philip. What a guy.
Okay, wait. There's a little bit of an elephant in the room, and I would like to address it. Yes, my muscles have been getting bigger. I've been hitting the gym lately. Yeah, you guys notice? Yeah.
Philip may have only joined us in grade 9.
But he quickly inserted himself into the core of our class. At first, we didn't see the danger. But then slowly over time, we realized that there was no cure to our love for him.
Quiet at first, he soon showed us his real personality. The one who drinks 4 liters of pop in just a couple hours just because he could. Always a daredevil, Philip might well be the first one in our class to die.
Or he'll outlive us all. An example of his wild attitude sometimes is on a field trip in Winnipeg. We went to the police museum, and Philip had in his pocket a very large, very deadly looking pocket knife. Lucky for us, we were able to bypass the metal detectors, and he wasn't caught.
He may be lactose intolerant, but at any moment you'll find him with some sort of dairy in hand.
Or eating fries off the ground to win a bet in this city.
In school, he greeted Mr. Ham every morning with the words,
"Morning, sleeping beauty."
until Mr. Ham asked someone to slap him. He also coined the phrase,
"If you ain't winging it, you ain't bringing it."
which we all decided was worthy enough to go on the backs of our grad hoodies.
Despite his funny exterior, Philip does care a lot about people.
He's a loyal friend and a good classmate.
Our class would be quite empty and boring without him.
In the wise words of Ashton, Philip is like glue. He holds our class together.
And he also seems like the type to sniff glue.
Keandre joined us in grade 9.
And when we first met him, he was asleep in class.
He's a great guy that you can count on to help you out.
But you might have to wake him up first or go fetch him off the soccer field.
He is super funny, and his favorite word to say whenever you ask him a question, poopy.
He's also a very sensitive guy.
He notices things others don't.
And can always tell you who in the class is having a bad day.
He loves his family and his dog.
Very, very much.
In Jamaica, we really got to see his soft heart come out.
He was often surrounded by kids, waiting to be picked up and given a ride.
One kid in particular, Opie.
She really brought out his deep heart for others.
It was really sweet to see him loving on her.
Especially since he may have been the only positive male interaction that she got.
He is often a source of entertainment while bickering with Jacob.
And his funny comebacks provide us all with laughter.
These days, Keandre is a lot more awake because he has made it a priority to enjoy the things that are going on around him.
Zion is often quiet in class, but once you get to know her, the sassiness deep down inside really comes out.
When her and Janika team up, that's where the real stuff comes out.
Someone in our class described her like Pandora's box.
But in a good way.
The more you get to know her, the better she becomes.
And this is true.
The more we've seen of her over the years, she has shown us her beautiful personality and loving nature. She is brave and patient with all of us, even when being patient is difficult.
In Jamaica, we saw her step out of her comfort zone
and bond with the kids and pour into their lives.
She has many talents, and one of them is her artistic ability.
I think we're all secretly a bit jealous about how her projects always looked so nice.
She is an encouraging friend who sees the best part of you without even seeming to try.
Zion is the quiet anchor of our class.
Not everyone might notice she's even there.
But she carries a sort of peace and confidence with her that is irreplaceable.
And then Leandro returned. The man, the myth, the legend.
Most of us knew him from days of old, but he had not returned the same. He was a new man.
Gone were the platinum streaks in his hair, and the little boy we once knew.
He returned as a man, changed by years of solitude without his former classmates.
He still has that class clown streak, though. He's always either singing or has something random coming out of his mouth.
On the way to Jamaica, he bragged about his ability to never burn.
Then proceeded to get the worst sunburn out of all of us.
But don't worry. His cocoa butter cream took care of all that.
That cocoa butter cream is really good stuff, gotta say.
It even hides the scent of a child's barf pretty well. Leandro is the type of guy that really inspires you to push the rules.
For example, La Sierra is still in business because of all the Red Bulls he picked up.
In the middle of class.
Something that we learned in these La Sierra trips is that Leandro thinks about life deeply.
He has a beautiful, loving heart, and he's a really loyal man, and we will all miss his daily comments.
And last, but definitely not least, is Janika. Janika is like an Energizer bunny on caffeine.
Except she doesn't drink any coffee.
Somehow she shows up to school every day, ready to go and wide awake.
While the rest of us would probably rather be asleep in bed.
She only joined us this last year.
But she has been a breath of fresh air and has shown us how to see life in an exciting way.
Without worrying about everything going on around us.
Her resilience and strength are admirable.
And how fast she runs is too. She's a thoughtful friend and she remembers what you do and don't like.
What she does with that information, though, is always a surprise.
She's encouraging and notices the little things that lots of people don't. She does her very best to help people feel welcome and seen in any situation.
She seems to be able to do everything at once.
For example, at church, she serves coffee and volunteers in kids' church on the same Sundays.
She loves kids.
And one day she'll make a fantastic mom.
Another example of this
is when in Jamaica, she remembered and wrote down all the names of the little children she connected with.
That kind of care and attention is something that we all know her for.
And that's our class.
the MCS graduates of 2025.
Through this past year, especially, we've grown close as a grade.
We've had our ups and we've had our downs.
Fights and times we've gotten along perfectly.
But through it all, it has helped us to see that everyone in our class is unique and has immense value.
We always knew that this day would come.
And here we are, ready to move on to a new chapter. Thank you to all our teachers and parents who supported us in making it to this day. Congratulations, class of 2025.
That was really well done. Thank you so much for that. You put a lot of work into it. Way to go. Second Peter chapter 1, verses 5 to 8 include these words. Add to your faith goodness, and to goodness knowledge, and to knowledge self-control, and to self-control perseverance, and to perseverance godliness, and to godliness mutual affection, and to mutual affection love. This graduation is for all of us. Some of us graduated recently, and so we well remember sitting in these chairs here maybe last year or a year or two back. This graduation is for you. Some of you just finished somewhere between kindergarten and grade 11, and sometime in the next couple of years, you might be sitting in these chairs. It's coming right up. This graduation is for you. Some of you know MCS is the place your children or relatives or friends attend. This grad is for you. This grad is a celebration of the fact that God draws us and guides us towards a closer and closer representation of himself. God is a highly educated, wise, well-balanced being. We are in the process of becoming more like him. And 14 of us have reached a certain milestone, and so tonight, this hour, is about celebrating these fine folks. Alita Dewick. Here is the last of the family of John and Myrna. This couple has modeled years of high-level commitment. They've been on the Parent Advisory Council. They've attended school events such as concerts and picnics and mission trips and heard about tournaments and the classes seem to be the easy part. Alita finds that math makes sense. Yet Alita challenges herself. She tackles the war and peace. She marches to the beat of her own drum, unfazed and disinterested in being normal. She can become a Narnia character and then hardly gives herself permission to eject herself from that character. It's kind of easy for us teacher types to celebrate the fact that your future may include teaching. We wish you well with that and with any other dreams the Lord places on your heart. Congratulations. Kylie Entz, you will be next. That's a good speech. Yeah. Down to earth at the dollar store. That's Kylie. She may come from Kansas where the wind blows harder and the feedlots are bigger, but she is one down-to-earth young lady. She's a great communicator. She's the voice of reason, the voice of the group, a peacemaker. She was the voice leading the high school awards this past Friday in a very warm, and she's a very warm and natural mouthpiece of the group. You can count on Kylie to say the sensible thing. She is willing to move on in spite of obstacles, sometimes by your words, but always by your choices and actions. We see you moving forward in spite of hardships, in spite of hardship or sacrifice or delayed gratification. We have so much respect for you. Congratulations on finishing well. Zion Ailson, you're next. Good. Zion showed her true colors this spring in Jamaica. Early in her time in Morweena, she touched a cow. Yes, the kind with fur and tail and slimy tongue. This may have been the perfect medicine for her. She has morphed from being a lovely, shy, young girl to the confident, thriving, beautiful young woman you see here right now. During the recent trip to Jamaica, she just wanted to take it in and be in on everything. She has transformed from being cautious to being eager. Your keen interest in life, that spring in your step, is so good to see. Kyle and Rachel, congratulations on traveling so many kilometers, for investing so carefully. This is your lovely daughter. Congratulations. Keandre Fox. Did I get this wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, guests of this wonderful event, before you stands one tall, strong, athletic, self-controlled guy from Ontario, Canada. He comes complete with soccer skills. Why? Because he works so hard at them, often by himself. He puts in the time, he pays the price. Secondly, he comes with a soft heart. Jamaica was the marinating sauce. Keandre carries so much pain. That nobody should need to carry. But you have let those experiences tenderize your heart. We are all fans of yours and delight in seeing the strong gentleman you have become. Among other things, you have become a role model for kids, including your sister and brother. You inspire us. Thirdly, a huge thank you to Jesse as well. A lifetime of investment and gracious care has paid off. You have so much reason to be proud. Keandre, congratulations on finishing well. Philip Harder, let's try you next. Ready?
Yep.
I often see Phil after school walking off holding the hand of a lovely young girl. You are the kind of big brother your sister can be proud of. That's huge. Till a year or two ago, Philip was normal. School things were kind of, yeah, whatever. Then a switch came on. He tuned in. He became thoughtful. He engaged in Bible class. He became aware of people in the margins, the homeless, those with tough family history, those with overwhelming messiness. He became a safe person, a hard worker. In summary, he has become intentional. Phil was born to be in Jamaica. In Jamaica, it became clear that he is engaged with kids organically. He did music not to them or for them, but with them. Phil, that's a big deal. God uses your musical skills as you fully immerse with others. Congratulations on finishing well. Jacob Clausen. Jacob, I have seen you so many times in recent months and years and had happy thoughts. You have come so very far in these years. We have been together at school. As a boy, it felt like you were not sure you had any value. You didn't see happiness or meaning in your future. Now look at you. You have volleyball skills. You put the ball over the net and exactly where it needs to go. You have power mechanics skills. You were in your glory as we puttered on the old car and the old tractor and the yellow bus. You have friends. The guys in your class like hanging with you. You are not alone. You thrived in Jamaica. You talked and talked. Stephen, the bus driver, was at the receiving end of your multitude of comments and ideas. You have been building a cabin on your yard. You make stuff. Let's face it, Jacob, you are doing well. You are a success. Leandro. You good? Leandro, it's simply an honor to have you on the stage here today. Leandro, you see things. You think about things. You are not drawn to fake stuff. You long for and reach for things that are true. Things that are true, things that are reliable, that stand up under pressure. Our high school staff see you as a leader, a writer, a safe and reliable friend to your peers. Take a look around. There are guests here in this room that only want truth and authenticity and wholeness for you. Leandro, I hope that you always remember that you graduated from a place that wished you all the success in the world. We are cheering for you. You just got a job. You just got baptized. You just bought a car. Your little sister loves you beyond words. In so many ways, you win. Congratulations. Ashton. Writing this tribute was tough because the words I have for you sound much too flimsy. But I invite your soul to hear these words. You are known to be loyal, honoring, communicative, solid, respectful. Ashton will stop and chat. That is to say, he stops and chats, like with eye contact and all that relational stuff, the real deal. It's like he hears you and sees you. Ashton, you may be the king of useless information, and maybe you'd read the local newspaper, but we will miss you. Ashton is a friend of all. He is unflappable. That is to say, he flappeth not. Unless while doing kids' action songs in Jamaica. Thanks for playing all in that week. That was really, really good. Ashton is Mr. Reliable. His yes means obayo. Congratulations on finishing well. Ashley Lowen. You brought your friends, didn't you? For the longest time, I thought Ashley had some ongoing tough life challenges. I thought she was some sort of in the back row kind of person, not saying much and preferring it that way. I was wrong. Ashley thrives in spite of some health challenges. She is an overcomer. She has a lovely voice and uses it in groups to speak sensible truth. She serves the community. No wonder she found a job at Araya. She has an excellent sense of her surroundings. She has thoughtful ideas. She is aware. She makes things sweeter. She is an overcomer of challenges. She is a non-complainer. And today, you are a graduate. Congratulations. Janika. She came to us late in life. Are you good? But don't let that fool you. She is feisty and eager and adaptable and confident and runs fast. Her first track and field zone competition happened in Stonewall this year, and like a good Canadian, she came in fourth. That was a solid finish. Congratulations. She likes to be friends with lots of people, and she likes kids, and she's very athletic, and she's adventurous, and she's not afraid of new people. It's a courageous move to join our school for only the 12th grade. This is not for the faint of heart. Congratulations on finishing well. Miranda. You good? Okay. Miranda comes on stage here with a semi-truck load of history. I want to take a second here to mention Joe and Grace. Members of the Joe and Grace household have attended MCS for many, many years. Today may be the end of an era for you, but you have supported and served through thick and thin for many years. Many, maybe most days, the road was uphill both ways. Miranda's success is part of the prize for your faithfulness and sacrifice. And from a school teacher's perspective, your support of school staff and school program has been strong and consistent. Thank you. Miranda, you earned this. You had this coming. You are surrounded by people who cheer for you, and this diploma right here is yours. Tobias Wall. I believe Tobias holds the world record for coming to school the most times with an actual briefcase. You can hurt large animals with that thing. He makes it look like he is serious about learning. This whole school thing has been given a full 100% effort, and that's the way we like it. And it's not just about studies. Soccer is treated with equal passion. Nobody wonders whether Tobias comes to win or not. Play hard or go home is a lifestyle with this young man. And then the guitar and the microphone. Tobias includes music on the list of things that matter. He is diligent and focused. Perhaps you're sensing a theme here. You might think this means he is a rough character. You would be wrong. Just ask his youngest sister. Tobias has a heart of gold. He loves deeply and completely. Tobias is the real deal. Congratulations on finishing strong. Nora Williamson. Nora is our library and English class and discussion queen. She regularly rescues the teacher in Bible class with an appropriate comment. She is a wide reader of literature. She reads above her age level. She is the keeper of the stash. Or did you think we wouldn't find out? You chose to stay in Jamaica with a grade 12 group in spite of the trauma in your soul and within your family back home. Nora would like it better if life was fair. Her feet are sadly on the ground. She's that kind of person. She's not drawn to shallow answers. This is a first for Scott and Julie, but Grandpa Klaus Friesen is missing. I remember him coming into the carpool lineup with his Ontario license-plated pickup truck. He was so thankful to have you part of our school, as were we. So now with a lump in our throat, we realize that part is over. You have earned your release. Congratulations and all the best in your future. Alethea Zacharias. Alethea is a worship leader. She was the queen of spring concert a year ago. For this event, she owned the PowerPoint. I want to mention where you come from. Roger and Clarice Plett with years of camp and church ministry. Elmer and Danya Zacharias, more years of spiritual leadership in church and camp. Alethea has become a person of deep character and a keen ability to minister to those around her. She is an open channel of the richness of Jesus. You have exciting plans for travel to Italy and Portugal. They sound wonderful. We wish you a great summer of ministry at the Beaver Creek Bible Camp, a fall of travel and study, and then a lifetime of worshiping Jesus as you have clearly have the heart to do. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Morweena Christian School class of 2025. Just to state the obvious, some of us are on stage here, but there are many other staff members who also paid full price to have this kind of an event happen. So thank you to the full staff team of the Morweena Christian School, and thank all of you for coming. The night is yet young. The grads will be outdoors, happy to hug and shake hands and take pictures and whatnot. There will be refreshments here for the rest of the evening. So God bless. Thanks for coming.
Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to Funky Town? Won't you take me to